Hello and welcome to Sophia Kamau's kitchen. Today I am going to show you how to make beef stew. It's that time of the year where beef stew can really lift up your moods, and I think it's something good I would show you this time. So we do have the ingredients here and I will go through them one at a time. So the best steak to use is the boneless beef. It's a kind of marble. It has a lot of fat in between it, and it is the most cheapest but really delicious piece of meat. So this is the whole. I just wanted you to see the idea, and then you chop them to bite size. I'll show you how to go about achieving these results here, which I just prepped a little just to save on time. I will show you how to go there. So the main ingredients, let's start from the back. We do have the oil, which I will use 4 tablespoons of oil, and then I have 1 dry freeze garlic. I will use a teaspoon of dry freeze garlic. I do have a whole bell pepper, a large bell pepper, a large onion. I do have 2 tablespoons of flour for thickening the stew. I have 3 sticks of celery or stalks of celery. I have a 1/4 pound or 227 grams of mushrooms. I do have 2 medium carrots. I have 1 tomato pureed. I pureed mine because it is frozen. You can slice yours or whatever way. Mine I pureed. I'll use a teaspoon of salt, and I will use black pepper to season. I use a teaspoon of thyme, dry thyme. I'll use a teaspoon of rosemary. I'll use 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and 2 bouillon cubes. I have 1 cup of peas that I am defrosting, and I will add at the end. I have like 5 medium potatoes, peeled and sliced up. You can have more or less. It all depends with you. So let's get to it. In my pan, I have 4 tablespoons of oil, and it's been heating. We need the oil to be hot, and then I will take pieces of meat and throw in there, one at a time. They need to be separated, because if you crowd your pot, the beef will make stew, and that's not what we want. We want to caramelize or brown the meat, and so it has to be separated and not crowded. So we'll keep on doing this. Very low heat now, since the oil is heated. Keep flipping until your meat is all beautiful and brown. Okay, now this is the results I achieve when you take time and brown your meat. So the 4 tablespoons of oil are enough to do all my 1 kilo of the beef blade steak. And this is what you do. You have also to remember to put your fan on, otherwise this might set off your fire alarm. But if you are careful with the low heat, it will be okay. So after here, my beef, it's all looking really good and golden brown, as you can see. So the oil, don't worry, is not burned. That's all the good flavors going on. So now I'll have to go ahead and add my seasoning. I'll add a teaspoon of salt, very flat, because my stock cube has salt. So I'll add a teaspoon of salt, and then I will add garlic too. A teaspoon of garlic. You can put as much garlic you want. And then with the onions. They can go together. So you give it a good stir. I have to add my other meat, which was already done earlier. And then now I can go ahead and add the flour for thickening and the tomato paste. I will add the 2 tablespoons of flour, and we add this at the beginning so that this is the 2 tablespoons, all of it, so that the flour cooks. Otherwise, oh, some are flying away. If you don't cook your flour, it will not taste good. You need to cook it at the very beginning, and it will give a good thickness to your stew. And remember, this is stew, not soup. We are not making beef soup. We are making stew, so you need some thickening agent, and that's why I use the flour. And there, that is good. Just a little stir. Everything is coated nicely. And now I will go ahead and add all the other ingredients. First of all, I can add a little black pepper. This is according to how much black pepper you want. For me, I will just go like this, approximating about maybe half a teaspoon or less, and that is good enough. We had put salt there. I will put a few, about a teaspoon of the thyme. You can just throw it there. That is thyme. A teaspoon of rosemary. Mine are dried. And if you had bay leaf, this will be really perfect too to add. That is thyme. Tomato paste. I'll take about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I used the wrong spoon. This is the tablespoon, and a next spoon of tomato paste. And give it a good stir so that it's not burning at the bottom. See, my pan is going on. Cook down the strong taste of the paste. It's already smelling really good here with just the thyme and the rosemary. And then, since my stuff are starting to burn at the bottom, I will add my tomato, the pureed tomatoes. I'll add my pureed tomatoes and give it a stir. See, it doesn't take long. All the ingredients are almost going in. I'll go ahead now and add the mushrooms, all of it. I will add celery, all of it. I'll add the green peppers. Look at how beautiful they look. So all my ingredients have gone in, except now the carrots and potatoes and peas. Those are the ones I am leaving for now. So I will stir this. So if you like wine, this is the time you could add about a cup of wine. Red wine, don't put too much. Otherwise, you can overpower the flavors and ruin your stock or the stew. But I don't, mine I won't be using wine. I'll be using water and the bouillon cubes. So I have 2 bouillon cubes here. And we'll just have to throw them, break them into the stew. And mind you, it depends how big your bouillon cubes are, because you already have put salt. So just make sure you are not putting too much salt into your stew, because these cubes have salt. And then give it a good stir. Now I will add some water. You just have to see, depending on how much beef you have, you see how much stew you have. I'll do 3 cups of water. So I will cover this and forget for 2 to 2.5 hours, depending how much time you have. A very, very low heat. I'm going to cover it now, set my timer, 2 hours to 2.5, and then I will come and add the potatoes and carrots. 2 hours have gone by, and look how my stew is so beautiful and thick. And now I have to add the remaining 2 of the ingredients, the potatoes and the carrots. The reason I do this is because my family don't like the potatoes and carrot overly mushed. They like them to have a little crunch at the end. So that's why I have to add them like half an hour, even 20 minutes before the end of the 2.5 hours, and that they're not excessively cooked. Again, I'll continue cooking on low heat for another 30 minutes. I will cover it and we will come back to check. After 2.5 hours of cooking, and now everything is ready. The final ingredient is the peas that have been defrosting the whole time, 1 cup. I will just add it there, stir it around, and make sure it mixes and heats up through. Look at that, and the aromas are the best in my kitchen. So it is all done. It's 2.5 hours of slow cooking. To be honest, you have to be really, really careful with the heating or the cooking temperature. Like mine, it is at the very, very low setting because of the thick stew in the pot. If you do too high, it will just burn the bottom of your pot and the food won't be good. Now tell me, who won't enjoy this plate? It is packed with flavors. My beef, potatoes, carrot, celery, every other ingredients, the flavors have just blended and give me a perfect tasting beef stew. There you go, and top it with cilantro, or just like that. You can enjoy this by itself. It's a really full meal by itself, but if you want, you can enjoy with bread or with rice, and there you go. This is very, very beautiful. If you have extra, you could cool these and then put them in freezer bags or freezer containers, and you can freeze them to be used up another day when you're feeling down. This will really, really lift up your spirits. You have seen it done, and all the steps I have really tried my best to explain. I hope you will give it a try, and also remember to like, subscribe and share. Until we see you next time, bye.